what Walt did. I do know that Walt was a big anti-Semite, but who wasn't back then? You know, a lot of people. It's coming from a lot of different places.
You know, it's
But we made it through, and we persevered.
you know, it's crazy for
and now
like
we're on
most
top
of time.
everything, and that's what's important.
You know,
That's
you just
resilience.
admitted.
Yeah.
For most of time, everyone was anti-Semitic, and then like now's the turning point.
Yeah, now is the turning point. Because we're pushing it away. We're saying people are waking up. They're waking up to the Jewish plight.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying, "Oh my God, they've had it so rough." It's everybody
No,
knows.
I think the pinnacle for that was like the 50s.
Well, yeah. Well, we got recognized as like a different race in the 50s.
You got a whole country to yourself.
And
That's when like
which is in
all
dispute.
time like,
That-
oh no.
there were some of us even back then that were like, you probably shouldn't let us do this. Like, you can't do this. You know.
Guns are pretty gay.
As soon as I pick it up, though, I feel like I go into a podcast voice.
I don't feel that way, but I need something to go like off of at the same time. I can't be responsible for everything.
Oh, because you're
Winning the
responsible
fucking
for
competition tonight.
You are the winner. Hey, we're not in no particular order. You did the best though.
Yeah.
The fact that everybody says that, they say no particular order. Tony literally says no order,
You know
and
what
then
I
he
did
tells
when I came up on
everyone their
stage?
order.
You know what I did when I went up on stage?
Huh.
Tonight? I was like, they called my name last. You guys all know what that means, right?
That means
No particular order.
yeah, it's no particular order though. I thought it was the order in which like were you last, or I thought Cam was last.
No, I got called up last.
Oh, I didn't even pay
Because I was like,
attention.
oh, fuck, I didn't make it. And
As
I
soon
lost.
as I guess, no, that's true. Because as soon as I saw it was like the 3, I was like, well, fuck, and I left. It's like I didn't win this.
You're like, maybe I could get a first spot.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is there's a comedy competition today at a fucking HOC.
House of Comedy,
HOC, Hawk Tua.
Hawk Tua.
Hawk
I
Tua
did
Comedy
not-
Club.
It's good. There were more people in there than I thought there was going to be.
There's a few like just seemed like random people, which is so
I know.
odd to get at a show anymore. But I
Uh-huh.
feel like a Thursday's
shows.
we're open on a few more people too.
Mm-hmm.
And you got something going on there tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I got something going on there tomorrow. It's gonna be a ton of fun. But you have really something. It's your show. What's crazy is it's your show, and then you're not even gonna
it's
be
not.
there
It's
because
not my
your
show.
thing is crazy.
It's your show.
No, it's not my
It's
show.
your and Mason's
Who's
show.
getting paid for this show?
I don't know. So that's a lot of the time, like comedy money proceeds, they just drift into the wind, and no one really knows where. Like,
It's like you pay for one set, you never get the set, you never see it. It's like money just goes.
yeah, it's when people pay me for sets
Yeah.
at shows, and I'm just like, pfft.
The
SD card got
audio.
corrupted.
It's crazy. They're like, "Can I have my money back?" She's like, "I spent it."
Well,
On a
the thing
new
about
SD
your money
card.
is that it's gone. Well, I would, but it's gone.
It's gone. How did you got a weekend though? You finally. I feel like it's been like a
Like a
month and a
month?
half
Yeah,
ish.
that's how it goes. Watch, I'll get like 3 in a row now,
And
and then
feel like real
nothing
high
for the
and then-
next long time.
Why do you think they just like?
You know what I
once
think
you-
it is?
What do you think it is?
In my little mind of minds,
Huh.
I feel like the people who I can work with, you have to be like a certain combo in order for me to be able to work with you. You have to be kind of right leaning, bring that kind of crowd, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And also, on top of that, not bring anyone for support. So I feel like maybe bookers are like sending those dudes that fall under those somehow in rotation to the club, to where they're like, or not bookers, but managers, like comedy, like talent managers are sending those guys. Maybe they're like, maybe it's serendipitously they're in like little groups, but it always seems like whenever I get work at the bigger clubs here, it's like guys that I'm like, oh, you know what? I like this guy and I fuck with him as a comedian because of his views.
You think they're doing that? I don't think they're doing that much matchmaking. I think really it's just like who's available, who can we get right now, bye. And maybe a little bit, but I don't think they're thinking about it as much as you're thinking about.
I'm not. No. You got to think on it on even another level. It's comedy like booking management being like, let's schedule these 3 guys in a cluster in the same town, and then maybe they like the last guy the most because it's like already getting those types of people to go out to shows. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There could be a
maybe.
million different ways to explain it, but
I mean, it's a
it
whole
is weird
business.
that like
They're doing it.
I get booked like at the bigger clubs for weekends in clusters, and then it just stops for a long time.
Yeah. It is crazy. Maybe it is. Maybe they all
What's
tour.
it,
But
2 or
what
3
would be the
times now?
benefit of touring at the same time as somebody kind of like you?
Because then like you get those people out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
If
isn't
a
it?
if a couple that likes like whatever type of comedy, have it be whatever type of comedy, comes out for like a Thursday show one night,
Yeah.
and they're like, that was fun. Then they're more likely to come out for a Saturday night the next time. And then every once in a while they'll be like, fuck it, we'll buy a Sunday ticket. And if you throw that all within the span of 3 weeks, a Thursday to a Sunday from the beginning of the month to the end of the month, you're like, we went to a lot of comedy shows this month. But like,
I just feel like you're not going to return if you like go to comedy once. You're not going to be the next week be like, yeah, I want to go
well, if it's
again.
like, we have,
Well, if it is amazing.
we have on sale these guys' tickets too.
I just don't see somebody doing that. Like if you went to a great concert.
I got to bring some tickets for the show.
I know, but I'm gonna stay on this. Like, if you went to like a great concert, and then the next week there was another concert, you were like, oh, I gotta go to this concert now, and then you go to and then the next weekend again. I don't think you would do that. I think you get worn out. Like you do your thing. Also,
Yeah.
you're assuming they have so much money because clubs are not cheap.
A middle class family could do it.
I don't know, 127
Yeah.
a night, like 3 nights in a row.
Not 3 nights in
It's
a
like
row. 3 nights.
3 nights in a
stretched
month.
out over a month.
It's like $400 in a month on
For
comedy.
your like entertainment
I don't
fee.
even make that with comedy, dude. That's
Comedy. They say comedy pays.
they do say. I mean, I've yet to see. I've
No,
yet
you
to
got a
see
bigger
it. It's
stack
not
of cash
coming.
than I have, right there.
No,
Right?
you're
you
right.
think you
Yeah,
think
the
that all
comedy
that
pays.
is more
No,
than?
no. My
think
comedy
so.
pays is so much. I have stacks and stacks and stacks of cash. I have stacks and stacks and cash hidden away. Not even really that hidden. If you came here and
I'd
you
find
just
it.
yeah, no,
I know where
you
it's
know
at,
where
but,
it
like,
is. I think everyone would find it. You
Just
have to
check in
open
the
a
dresser drawer.
Yeah.
The left dresser
There's
drawer.
about $3,500 in there. I can't even be mad now. Now it's out there.
You think that's not $3,500?
Actually, that might be more than 3,500, but it's spent. This money is not actually there. This is gone money.
But
My-
it gave
my
me something.
drawer of money?
You know what it gave me?
Rent?
Another place to sleep at for another
Yeah.
month. Which, how
Hell
do you
yeah.
value that?
True. I'd hate to be on the streets, especially right now. We
Well,
saw my
you'd
favorite
run
homeless
into-
lady.
yeah.
Yeah, I found my favorite homeless lady.
It's
right
crazy how no one here is going to remember the story, but Fred got into an altercation with a native lady who said he was
Yeah, it's a
racist.
racist
And then he met this black lady who said that Fred was because he bought her cigarettes. And then
The lady that was
and then
racist.
the lady that said you were racist a few days
Yeah, said I
later
was
came
racist.
in and then saw that Fred and the homeless black lady were getting together like
Smoking
friends.
cigarettes.
Yeah. And then Fred, in order to fuck the native lady that called him racist, he got invited to a party, and then he just sent the homeless black lady home
Yeah.
with the native.
She
And then we
invited me
just,
over?
that was the last interaction they had. And we
Uh-huh.
just ran into the
Like a
homeless
month
black
ago.
lady.
It was like a month ago this happened.
Yeah, yeah.
This ordeal happened. And then, yeah, we
and
saw
then
her
today
at the
we ran
Circle
into the
K.
homeless black lady, and she was helping me find beer.
She was helping you find beer. She's a friendly homeless black lady.
I know.
She's
She's like,
the
don't
best.
say I never did nothing for you.
She knows all the cashiers also. She knows everybody behind the register. I bet
believe
she's
it.
allowed to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
She's a
probably.
nice lady. But we walked in and I was like, I fucking know who this is. But it's been a month, so I haven't like
Yeah.
seen her. I've just thought about it. But I've thought about her a lot, you know?
But you probably didn't. Did you picture her face when you were
No.
telling? Oh,
it's just
really?
it's actually like way better shape, to be honest with you.
Oh, so she's gotten worse.
But yeah, the month that I saw her, she had just become homeless.
And now
Now she's a month homeless. Remember when I saw her, she was wearing an apron?
I don't
This
know.
time, well, you weren't there, but I think I told you about this. She's like, I need to get a job. And I was like, you're
What do
wearing
you
an
think-
apron.
What do you think the worst thing to happen to her in the last month is?
I mean, she was, a guy got in there. Eventually, for sure.
I bet that might be the best thing that happened to her all month.
Really?
You don't know. She's like, I let a guy get in there the other day.
True. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't take much, but I don't think there's a lot of conversating. In the homeless, what do you think homeless courtship is like?
Do you think you can fuck the homeless black lady?
I think I'd be like, do you want to sleep in a bed tonight?
But do you think you could without offering her anything?
No. I mean,
You don't think she?
I think the implication she'd be like, I'm spending the night, you know, like where are we gonna have sex?
Oh, girl.
I'm not fucking any lady in the alleyway.
What if she called
I'm
you?
a gentleman.
What if
I'll
she
take
called,
her home.
What if she called you girl the whole time? She's like, oh girl, you got a nice penis.
Like, yeah, what fucking girls are you fucking? What type of other fucking girls are you fucking?
She's like, well, we are in downtown Phoenix. You're like,
don't know?
oh, fair.
You never seen him?
They hang around in Joe Bot Coffee.
She my boyfriend. Nah, but I didn't know. I didn't know who the fuck she was. And then we started talking.
And
What was crazy?
what was crazy?
The first time she asked me. The first time we even started talking was because she asked me for $1
Mhm.
at the register, and I gave her $1. And then this time, I still didn't know who she was, and then she asked me for $1, and I had like an aha moment, like a
Did
light
you
bulb
give her
went off.
$1 this time?
And I was like, I give her 5 this time.
Oh, you gave her money?
That's my fucking girl, dude. Do you know how
You
vivid-
ride or die?
You know what she did for me in that moment when she was like, this my guy, you know? I was like, oh my God, in front of a lady who the day before had called me a racist, and now I'm being just fully relieved of this
that's a good
sin
lady.
that I have. Yeah, it's great. Dude, I'll always give her money. I walk past every other homeless person. This homeless lady proved I wasn't racist to an extent. You know, I always give her money now.
And as a liberal, you'll always pay for that.
I'll always pay for that. Wait a second. I'll pay. Yeah.
To be
I'll
fair,
pay
if that
for
happened
not
to me,
being
I'd
racist.
do it too.
Dude, she's the
But
best.
I censor myself enough in public to not be called a racist.
I have that problem. Dude.
Nobody out in
I
public-
just want to have a conversation. I want to have the tough
Nobody
conversations.
in public settings can be like, that guy's a racist because I cover my ass.
No, dude, you walk into a place, everybody's still like, that guy's a racist.
Yeah, and then you hear me talking, you can't be like, but he is for sure. You know what I mean? Like, no one's going to be able to double down on me.
But then you go, and everybody goes, no, he is for sure.
that guy's definitely racist.
Wait, sorry, guys.
So I'm a
That's what I was
racist.
saying.
You can replace that with so many things. I was thinking about that the other day.
You are?
Yeah.
Just the other day?
They've done
I'm
it for
sorry,
different
yeah.
jokes. Like, I don't have to be like, I have conservative parents. I can say, you can say just about anything and be like, oh shit.
Yeah, country.
And then be like,
Country,
uh-huh.
country. Country.
Yeah. It's not hard.
No, it's not hard. But I got to ask her about the fucking her experience because she got taken home by the lady that called me racist.
If only she would have gotten taken home by a pimp.
Yeah, we heard there was a prostitute out at the open mic scene. Guys, if you're in the Phoenix open mic scene, on Wednesdays, sometimes a prostitute comes by.
Which open mic?
The Hideaway Lounge
Hideaway
in
Lounge.
downtown Phoenix. Wednesdays.
No, that's like
At like
like
7.
uptown.
Is it uptown?
That's uptown. Because like
I don't know,
we're
but-
not. We're barely in downtown.
According to
If we
Mac,
even
she
are.
is attractive. I have yet to see her.
There's a hot whore.
Yeah.
There's a
Blonde.
hot whore at
She's
the open
blonde.
mic. What?
Well, okay, there's a lot
There's
of
always one
yeah.
hot whore at the open mic. Like that's the hot whore of the open mic.
But this one is literally a prostitute. This
yeah,
one will
no. This
have
one
sex
is like
for
the
money.
epitome of a hot whore. Sometimes you're just like, all right, well,
I don't know if that's the epitome of a hot whore.
well, she's getting paid to fuck.
Yeah.
What's more whorish than that?
And if you're paying, she's got to be at least semi-hot.
I don't feel like that.
Me? We're talking me here.
I'm just
I'm
talking
putting myself
averages.
in those shoes to pay for sex.
I feel like more ugly
It's to be
whores are
gorgeous.
fucked every day than hot whores.
Yeah, I would. That's just because there are more of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so of course. And there are a lot more guys with lower standards than me. I agree.
Yeah.
But
You're
I'm
at the
saying if
pinnacle.
I'm paying, yeah, right now, because I can get sex without having to pay for it right now.
You're at the pinnacle's peak, aren't you?
No, I think I had a prime back in the day.
You know what,
I'm just checking out the view a little bit lower right
Speaking
now.
of Pinnacle Peak, I had a fun time today because we got
Oh, shit,
lost.
yeah.
We got,
got
lost as a motherfucker.
First time I've ever really been lost in Phoenix.
dropped off Mason, and then we were just in the middle of the desert, and I kept being like,
Yeah.
"Just go that way."
Like super far north, like outside of like the
I don't
city
know where
lights.
we were,
Yeah,
still.
there were no lights.
I still don't know where we were
We just drove around for 20 minutes in
until
darkness.
we found signs that were like highways that we knew, and then we just got onto it.
Uh-huh. It was crazy because it's you have no idea even which direction you're going. Like at one point you had to pull out your compass to be like, I feel like I'm-"
Yeah. Well, we refused to use
yeah,
GPS.
of course.
What are
Or
we,
men.
gay?
Yeah, come on.
We'll
Who
use
would?
a fucking compass. That's also on my phone, but
Yeah.
we'll use a compass. I should have magnetized like a fucking staple.
You know what I tried to do, and I was very disappointed. You know how in cars, like older ones, there's usually the compass in the top above the mirror, you know. But my battery's dead in
Dude,
there. So I
you ever
couldn't
seen
even
an
see
old
it.
truck where it's got the compass, like it's like an actual magnet
Oh,
compass
yeah.
on the hood? Well, not
Uh-huh.
on the hood, but like on the dash, like right in the center, and it floats around.
They're always on big trucks, so it feels like a boat when you're on the inside. You know, like you ever been in a boat?
Yeah, I've been in a boat and a big truck too.
In a big truck? Don't they feel a little
I
big
know what you're
boatish?
talking about.
Don't they feel like big boats? Even one without the like. I've been in somewhere it's like in the middle. The compass is in the middle, and you're like, wow, it's a boat.
I've
you
never
know?
like towed a trailer with a boat, to be fair, so I don't know.
What? No,
I've done a
I'm
lot
not
more
saying,
truck.
I'm not saying in a boat on a trailer towed by a truck. I mean like inside the truck feels like a boat.
You know what I have to think?
Yeah.
a big old truck can tow a trailer, but a fucking big old boat can't tow a tuck.
I disagree with that completely, though. There are tow boats, tugboats. Oh, but they tug, they don't tow.
Well, they have to have like another boat underneath the truck.
Yeah, but in a trailer, you have to. I guess you.
You could pull a
Yeah,
fucking,
you can just pull it.
a
Yeah,
boat.
you can just pull it. Well, that's not true.
Dude,
You
I
think-
had a
you
yeah
think
one
a-
time. One
all right,
time,
what's heavier, an anchor or a truck?
like what kind of anchor though? For like shipping cargo fucking vessels.
Yeah, also that depends as well, because I also don't think like a Prius is going to be able to tug a boat, and the boat size also depends.
We're saying a truck though, one that has a compass on the dash.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But like, how big is the boat then? Because
It's
that's
like
not
a
pulling
boat
a
you would
yacht.
pull with that kind of truck.
So then you have to have that kind of boat pull a truck.
Yeah, and it's not. It doesn't work.
But it just feels that's a small boat though. It's not a big boat.
It's
Like
not
in the
a-
size of on the
It's
scale
also
you're going
in the
with
scale of
cars.
trucks.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
a
scale
big,
of trucks. That's not a big truck either.
Okay, but I'm thinking big trucks because that's why they make
What, like
you
a
boats.
fucking dump truck? Like what are you talking?
No. Just like a 2500. Like those are big cabs. Your
Yeah.
dad's truck is pretty big.
Yeah.
That thing's big.
Oh, the GMC.
Yeah,
But
but it feels big. It's big.
that's a
it's
gas
big.
engine truck. That's not a big truck, dude.
It's not diesel.
That's not a
It's gotta
diesel.
be diesel. What if you had a coal truck? Is that better or worse?
A coal truck.
Yeah, you just had to
My
fucking-
dad had a fucking a
Coal
slave in the
truck?
back that
Yeah.
shoveled coal in order
It doesn't
to.
have to be a slave.
Well, you're not volunteering to be in the truck all the time.
Maybe you are, dude. You don't know.
And then the pedal instead of like
He has to be a slave.
the pedal in the car instead of like increasing the gasoline or diesel flow into the fucking cylinders in order to create combustion. It's just like my dad revs it and it just whips the slave harder.
So you really can never regulate the speed.
No, like it's kind of variable.
Yeah.
It's just like
Depends
the
on how
guys
fit.
they got a big engine. It's just a team of guys back there, or
Yeah.
one John Henry.
Or one John Henry. A team of guys or one big
One
black
John.
guy.
Well, that's
So
like when
five
you
whites-
turbo a car. It's like
'cause
I put a John Henry in the car.
When we're talking slaves, we're talking you're allowed to have white slaves. So 5 white slaves or one John Henry, I think is the correct.
They can be black too.
Well, yeah.
I'm not limiting my slaves to any color because I'm inclusive.
I'll
I'll
own
take
anyone.
a Egyptian slave, Jew slave. Well, yeah, I'd take a Jew slave.
I
Cambodian.
don't
I'll
need
take another
boys.
white guy. See, it's not even a racing. It's just me being a fucked up person.
Yeah.
In all
I'm
of
not
generality.
racist. I'm fucked up.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? People are more likely to be like, all right, that's okay. He's just fucked up.
He's just fucked up. Oh, he hates everyone.
He
he's
values
a-
anyone who's not him as lower than him.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fair. And that's what can you do?
Across the board.
At least he treats everyone equally.
You're
you know?
all not me. Someone's got to shovel
You
coal.
need to be a dictator, dude. You just guys, I treat everyone equally. I kill everyone.
No. I don't want to kill nobody.
I want them to work to power my coal-powered
Yeah,
car.
yeah. America wasn't built on killing.
It just
It
turns
was
into
built
just a
on
train.
horrible back-breaking labor. All right, this
Somebody's
is
got to
bad.
do the work.
This is bad.
And
You know, and someone's got to do the hard work.
When we were out of editing,
I was gonna bring up a long time cut thing that we talked about once that I still. Nah, never mind. All right, go ahead.
About, I don't know, just like it was kind of enjoyable to be lost and know that like you're definitely going to find your way out of it. You know, like it was never.
Oh, it wasn't like
scary.
hopeless.
Yeah, exactly. But it is kind of like the fun of like.
Anytime
I
I'm
don't know
on
which
pavement,
way.
I feel like that. I'm like, something's gonna come up here eventually.
Yeah, eventually I'll be safe.
Yeah.
The gas would get me though. Like if we're like on a quarter tank and we're like that lost again, I'm gonna be a little bit pressed.
On paved road though, I'm fine. As long as
Yeah.
the weather conditions aren't like too horribly shitty. Like as long as it's not like torrentially downpouring fucking snow to where it's like a blizzard. That's the
Yeah.
only time on a paved road I'll still be like, oh, I could get really fucked right now. But like
Yeah.
any other time on a paved road, I'm like, I can get out of this. Even like rain, you're like,
I kind of would have enjoyed the rain right now. If it was like lightning and shit, dude, it would have caused.
yeah,
like
it didn't much this one.
It was last night, which was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I stepped outside and just like, was like, wow, because we don't. There's no lightning in Alaska.
Did you go out and you're like, wow, lightning.
Lightning.
It's a lightning is a frightening.
It's
It's a lightning. A very, very frightening. Clip it.
clip. Everyone knows that Asian accents are never going out of style.
No.
No.
Um,
No, but it's like crazy to like be out there and then you like see the rain because it doesn't rain like that in Alaska.
you know,
and
this is
there's
like one of the
no
only
thunder,
places
lightning.
that fucking thunderstorms are that hard
Yeah, I was
in
really.
a lot of the world.
I was into it when it was fucking in
Flag?
Flagstaff too. Yeah.
Flag will do it hella too, but like there's
Yeah.
even a place a little more south of Flag that'll get. It's like right when did you know what the Mogollon Rim is? It's like
Yeah, it's like right when you start going
if you
up, right?
chill on the rim and look down at the valley below
Yeah.
you, because the clouds have to make that huge elevation leap. Like lightning's like a motherfucker in there for whatever reason.
Damn. That's crazy.
I think it does in Florida too, if I'm not wrong.
But Florida's just flat, dude.
But it takes like a good fucking. It's a weird amount of like to go from like just straight water to like land out of nowhere because it's all
on
like
both
super flat.
sides, too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they
you
have a
see
lot
what
of
the
lightning
dolphin-
strikes, but I
wouldn't
could be wrong
doubt
on
it.
that.
I feel like it's more deserty stuff though. Like I feel like places in like
Well, it's supposed to be exposed rock. At least in my meteorology class, they were like, what causes lightning is friction from the fucking land, especially from like rocks that are exposed. Those cause the most friction onto the clouds up top for whatever reason.
that rock said the N word.
A lot of friction.
TMZ.
Well, I think it'd be the other way around. I think the clouds would say the N word. They're
Oh,
up
yeah.
high.
They're
They're
causing-
white and fluffy.
Yeah, true. They're looking down at the ground like you'll never be up here.
And then
Dude.
some of the clouds are like, the rocks. And then some of the rock eventually gets up there and they're like,
They start throwing hands. Bah, bah.
you know, when the rock kind of strikes back is when volcanoes erupt and it's just making its own. But that's black on black violence. Because it's traveling across the earth and it's making lightning.
No, that's actually.
And it's out of the earth.
No, they're breeding. You know when it rains after a volcano and there's like all the rain is acidic.
Oh, acid rain?
Yeah, acid
Oh,
rain.
also just over the city, which, what's a lot? There's a lot of something there in the city, too.
The suburbs. You know what you see in the suburbs? A lot of clouds.
You know what you see in the downtown city area? Nastiness, and it smells like dog shit everywhere you go. And you know what else you see a lot
I've
of?
been noticing that a lot.
Huh.
The dog poop. Before you say anything incriminating, the dog poop is disgusting, dude. Is it always this bad around this time?
Lady, Does
the
it
dog
always
poop
smell like dog
always so
shit?
bad?
in Phoenix right now?
Like, is it a springtime thing?
So, like, the whole summer it smells like dog
All
shit.
summer's gonna be poo poo,
It smells like, we walked everywhere downtown and everywhere smelled like dog shit.
especially outside like apartments. But there are so many different buildings,
Sewage and it's hot. That's
so
fair.
it's gonna smell like that. I don't remember it smelling like poo poo all last
Did
year.
we walk that much last year? I remember.
we
I think
might
we were
not
like
walk.
sedentary a lot more.
We were also in
Different
Tempe.
places.
We were in Tempe. For a
Or
lot
in
of it.
like uptown.
Yeah.
Because like we went like the few times we walked over my old place, it was just like all like nice ass houses
Yeah.
in like semi suburbs, but also
Uh-huh.
downtown.
And yeah, I guess the farther away you move from it, the outside the lady's house smells so much like poo poo. It's disgusting.
Damn.
And it's like the piss too, dude.
Do you want to hop in? The mic's ready. Is it going?
Yeah, you want to join us?
Yeah. You don't have to sit over there like a fucking weirdo. Does it smell like shit down here fucking all the time, or is that just in the summer?
I think it's worse in the summer because it's hot outside. So like all the sewage and stuff is just like boiling.
I've never seen any sewage on the streets of Phoenix. Just the, I mean,
Just
I haven't
dog
done
poo.
No, but the plumbing is god awful everywhere you go. So you know there's a sewage problem.
a, really?
Really?
Oh,
I haven't noticed bad
1000%.
plumbing. How do you notice bad plumbing?
My apartment, like you'll hear the sink just like knocking, and it's just like the pipes.
Oh, I did that with the toilet tonight. It was
Here?
like, yeah, I flushed it. The downtown or the downstairs one, the the
Downtown
downtown
one.
downstairs toilet. I flushed it and I heard something. And I remember I thought to myself, like, I'm glad this isn't my fucking building because that kind
Yeah.
of sounded bad.
It's really bad.
But
But in this building,
yeah,
so you,
I don't know
your
this building.
toilet's clogged?
it's not clogged, but it sounds kind of fucked up. And I'm like, I'm glad this isn't mine because I'm sure there's a problem there that should be fixed more than likely.
Yeah.
And the guy has no idea about it, but something is fucked up with the downstairs
Damn.
toilet.
Clogged pipe?
I don't know. I just pissed in it too, so I was just flushing water, and it was like, like all down the, like this wall, because like my toilet. Well, I guess it's like right there.
Yeah. Nasty.
Are all the fucking? You know, what I just realized
What?
all the toilets are like lined up right here, like where this toilet is. All the water, everything.
Oh, true.
It's all based off of right there.
Well, I mean,
must
that
have-
makes sense.
No, yeah,
It's
100%.
like the most
yeah,
affordable thing.
just straight up, straight down.
I guess. I mean, you different type, but like you still have water over here, and then you have. But this is really the only spot.
You know what I
outside
learned
of-
about Phoenix? And this kind of goes off of plumbing. Is like the whole town was based off of like how they could like the whole boom, the initial boom of Phoenix was because they fucking reused like old Indian canals, and they just reopened them up. They were like thousands of years old, in order to flood water like back into and get irrigation going for the surrounding area. And they just broke into these like 1,000-year-old Indian fucking ruins. So like a lot of the water.
Was this?
What?
How long ago?
That was like in the 1880s, maybe 90s.
Huh. I feel like the big boom though was AC. Like that's when it really started to.
Well, I mean,
like,
yeah,
if you look at the
100%.
graphs,
I mean, I'm sure,
like
but like
maybe the start of the.
in order to get like other people here, there had to be like an agricultural
Yeah, of course.
bloom as well.
You
Like
need
that'll
food.
get like AC got people here at one point when that wasn't even a fathom in people's fucking mind. AC, they were still moving out here in order
they
to
were
like
living to the
have a
west.
plot of land to be able to like grow shit on.
Wouldn't that be nice?
What?
Just to be able to like go somewhere and then have land.
Oh yeah, I got some up north.
Oh yeah. I guess
Every time
that's
I go
true
up
for
north,
you.
I'm like, oh, my land.
I'm just saying. I feel like this is kind of fucked up because now knowing what we know, like homesteading is pretty fucked up because other people own it. But
Who owns it?
Like native people. You know, I think.
Well, they didn't
I think
have a
there's
sense of
something to be said
ownership.
about the inhistoral, like your claim to the land.
I don't blame that on homesteading by any means.
I think it depending on where you are.
I think it's
I
imperialism.
think you should still have it in Alaska. To an extent, you know, like there's so much unmarked shit everywhere, and if you want to develop the state, you
So
kind of
you
have to
want
give shit
the
away
state
for
to be
free.
developed or not? Because like every time you come back, you're like the best parts of Alaska are the mountains. And
There's so much of it that you could get to, though, dude. There's just it's massive, dude.
yeah,
Like you can.
And then one
you
day
can
it'll
have
all
a
be gone.
Section and like you can section spots out. It'll all be gone.
yeah, one day, if it follows the same trend as America. Is that what you're advocating for?
I still think there's a lot of beauty in America with industrialization.
But you were just bitching about it
When?
just now. You're like it's someone else's land.
True. And I think it's wrong to like. We got to do a
There's an
what's
easy
it
argument
called?
out of you for this, but
What's it called? A land recognition?
land acknowledgement. yeah.
Land acknowledgement.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think those are insane.
How far
but I
back do you go
understand
on a
them.
land acknowledgement, though? That's the real question.
I think you can.
'Cause
How
if
far
you're
back do you
standing-
need to go?
If you're standing like a little northeast of here, you have to be like, we would like to give a land acknowledgement to the Anasazi, who we don't really understand, but they came and built structures here a million years ago,
True.
who were then died off with a plague and replaced by the Navajo, who were then fought off by the Apache. And then there was a brief stint where fucking the Hohokam also ruled over. Like, it's like
And then also, do you have to go back into like modern times? Because this probably used to be just some like.
ranchers. Like,
yeah,
And
some
they're not
guy.
bitching about it.
No,
I mean, they
they're
did
not.
get a good amount of money for it, but
Even after that, you still have. This was a neighborhood at one point.
I bet you go to some pieces of land and it's like
Yeah.
two white guys are like, that was my fucking land.
True. Yeah.
And then it's like,
And the
well, we
government
bought it
seized
from the government. It's like, but we was homesteading there since 1812. And then you came in and just bought it and said it was yours, even though we did all the stuff on it. So like, do you have to land acknowledge the white guy too? Like,
You know, it'd be insane. is
it's
if you did
retarded to do that.
if
We're
you did
here
a-
now.
A land acknowledgement, and then just did the last person who owned the property.
We would like to give a land acknowledgement to Liz Smith. She was the last person to own this plot of land.
She sold it to me.
Liz is a great gal.
That'd be insane, dude. People are like super down for you, and then they're like, "What the fuck?" Pretty
Watch
funny
this.
though.
Ooh, that's the tallest one yet.
Wow, your aim's not getting better.
No, it's hard. It's like a cannon with no barrel.
Oh,
You know how a barrel works?
Like a shotgun, but it's only one.
Well, shotguns have chokes, but whatever.
Yeah, but it is the same difference.
No, it's really not.
I feel like maybe it's more aimed, but it's
Yeah,
still...
but shotguns, you can get like this tied out to like 30 yards. This tied out to like 30 yards.
That's not what they show in the cartoons at
yeah.
all.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's what I'm saying. Is like a guy who fucks with shotguns on occasion. You put a choke and some double-aught buck in there.
Damn, you're
30
choking
yards.
and pumping your guns, dude. That's crazy.
No, choking a double-aught buck.
Oh, choking a double lock buck.
I'm
It only
choking.
takes you 2 pumps.
I'm pumping a double-aught buck with a full choke.
Ooh, I love holding that thing.
You know how I got it ready?
How'd you get it ready?
I cocked it.
Greased it up.
I cocked it.
Okay. And afterwards
After
you
I
grease
greased
it.
it, once I greased the gun and then I cocked it.
You will be
After I
clean.
pumped it,
You gotta clean it too.
and then I made sure there was a full choke on the gun. Yeah, guns are pretty gay. Remember when I was trying to do that for a while?
No.
I had something about cocking a gun. Oh, it was like something like
I think I do remember this. Yeah. I thought you were saying guns being gay.
we are kind of gay too. Do we
We
not
haven't
just?
done that.
That's what we
Yeah, that's what we just
did.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh. And then you blow it a kiss at the end when you're done firing it.
Yeah. You blow on the tip.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
Oh,
nice
look at
muzzle
that.
you have. I don't
Dry
know,
it
but he
off.
has. I've heard he has a
Disgusting.
really big stock.
This is a disgusting thing we're talking about now.
I'm just letting you guys go.
Look how long the
crazy.
barrel is.
This is the longest.
You know, it's
barrel
weird in
ever.
guns. It's different though, because like anytime I'm like, that's a badass gun, it's always got a short barrel.
Oh, you like them short and stocky?
Yeah, short gun that you can like get in places. Like that's cool as fuck. At least to me, like a pistol, that's fucking cool.
That you can hide under a trench coat.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Just
You
because you
walk
hide in a
around
gun
it?
underneath the trench coat doesn't mean you're doing bad.
No,
The Secret Service are protecting the president. Are they doing bad?
Do they wear Secret Service wears trench
Secret
coats?
Service wears fake. Have you ever seen this? Like at all the like. What are you drinking over there?
A margarita.
Ooh, nice. A canned margarita.
Yeah.
Do you want me to salt the rim for you? Yeah, I will.
You want to?
Of course.
I would love that.
Remind
me about the Secret God. Service
arms.
All right, the Secret Service. I don't know much. I don't know much about the CIA. Huh?
One time the Secret Service was in front of my house
Why?
because my neighbor was good friends with the governor. So like we couldn't go outside and play. I was really little. And we were like, it was just like after school one day.
Yeah.
Apparently she was visiting our neighbor and we were just going outside to play because that's what we did after school every day. And we weren't allowed to be outside.
Salt.
We weren't allowed to be outside because apparently we were like too close because we lived in a cul-de-sac. So like everybody's close together.
Yeah.
So they like knocked on our door and they're like, your kids need to stay inside. Like we have to secure the premise.
Damn.
Yeah.
Can you do that
So
over
not
the
like-
sink? I'm so distracted by the amount of salt you're just pouring on the floor. You just
Thank
pouring.
you
just
so
poured
much.
So
That's
much
so
salt in.
sweet. Thank you. It's perfect.
Because I'm the only fucking person that cleans.
The Secret Service was right outside my back porch and almost didn't let me go home one time because I lived on the airport in Prescott, and Trump came and did a rally there, and he flew like directly over our house in this like fucking, what are those things with the two blades and they can like turn, you know what I mean, where it's like,
Oh, I know what you're talking. And it's got the big disc on them in the middle of it.
no,
No different one than that.
that's like a weather plane or like a radar plane or some shit, but
But it's got the two on the.
it's got two, but it's like they're like helicopter Osprey. Do you know what Osprey is? It's got
I
like
think
the
I'm
two
picturing what you're describing.
helicopter blades and then they rotate. But he flew over in one of those, and then I had went and gone and done my morning lift at the college, and he was doing his rally then. Because I remember I had to drop off one of my teammates. He's like, I want to go to the Trump rally. And I was like, all right, Kenny, have a good time at the Trump rally. And he went to the Trump rally. And then I tried to go home. And like the turn off to my home, because it's literally, I lived right on the airport.
Yeah.
And we tried to turn down like that road to get to our house. And some fucking, it wasn't Secret Service, but it was like a sheriff or like a cop
Some
was like
type
sitting
of
there.
authority?
And he was like, give me your ID. And I was like, no. And then I was like, I live like right over there. Like I'm not. The address is 2149 Clubhouse Drive. I live right over there, dude. And then
I
he was
never
like,
asked for the complete address. Why are you giving it up so easily?
because like they have to know what addresses are behind there if they're blocking off this road, right? So then it's like a verification. And then I was like, even if I give you my ID, it doesn't have that address on there because I am a student and I live right over there.
Did you hit him with the student ID next?
No, I didn't. I never hit him
Boom.
with a
He'd
student
be
ID.
like, this is awfully suspicious. I
But
have
it is
everything
crazy
right
because I
there."
could have got up on top of my roof pretty easily
Yeah.
with a long range rifle.
Not that you'd ever do that.
Well, if
What's
I were
crazy
to
is
do
that's
it,
just
I
an
would have
omen to
killed
go back
Trump.
to the-
I would have killed Trump with one shot. If
Oh,
I would
yeah?
have shot at
You're
him,
that good?
yeah, I would have killed. I wouldn't have shot a bunch of fucking
Then I
rounds at
would've
him
fucked my
with a
gun.
shitty AR.
You
I would
did
have got
it,
my
baby.
nice
You
hunting
did it,
long range
baby.
rifle out and just, and then Trump's head blows up.
But you're doing the Steph Curry look away, dude. You already know.
Well, yeah, I'm getting
You
back
don't
into my
have
house
to-
so I can deny what happened.
They're like, what were you doing when the president got
I
shot?
was like making eggs.
I was fucking my gun.
I was- they're like
Fucking
that's a normal cause of
That's
an
it.
American to do.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing as well. That's why he got shot.
Oh wait, everybody was fucking their gun.
That's
you
why
got
the
a full
president
choke on that gun?
You oh, I always choke my gun. Oh, you're bad.
Oh, let me see the
You're
barrel of that
bad.
gun. Is that a short little
Oh,
barrel?
you got a big old gun.
You got a big barrel. That might.
That's a big gun.
That's a big
You
enough barrel to
out
take out the
gun that you
president.
just-
Yeah. Long barrel.
Yeah. They go, oh.
No,
It's like,
but
oh,
we were
that's
talking about
gorgeous.
it earlier. The Secret Service, they will wear fake arms. Like you can see it clearly. They will wear fake arms so that under a trench coat they can hold like a little like mini submachine gun. And then if anything
Jesus.
breaks out, they break out of the coat and the arms go flopping and then they.
How bad do you think they want? Like, they
Oh,
want to
yeah.
do that so bad,
Yeah.
dude. Can you imagine just standing with your hand inside of, like, especially if it's a hot day, like just having to be so caught up like this and then being like, and then having it be for nothing?
Oh yeah, it's almost
And then,
always
like,
for nothing.
Yeah, always for nothing.
Once they establish those guys, I guess Reagan got shot at and his guys got to kind of take the one dude out, but they didn't even kill him. I forgot about that.
It'd just be.
You know about Reagan's assassination attempt?
No.
I can't remember.
Well, I know he got shot and then he did and then he finished, right? Yeah.
And then I think his second term, he was like retarded, and his wife had to do everything. Like most good Republican presidents, second term they were brain dead, and the wife stepped in.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this was. You think Melania's in charge right now?
No, I don't
Trump's the
think,
exception.
I don't think that's a good president. That's my correction. I guess he's just as much a crook as anybody else. But Reagan, fake arms, I don't know. Reagan got an assassination attempt, got shot once. And then the guy was like really into Jodie Foster. You guys know about this?
No.
Like the reason he tried to kill Reagan was because he really thought this one actor or singer or something was really fucking hot. And he was like, if I kill the president, she'll like me. And now he's gotten out of jail and he's released a bunch of albums on Spotify. That's this guy's whole
He got
life.
out of jail?
Yeah. Well, he didn't kill the president. He
Oh.
attempted to kill the president.
What's the
I don't know. It was enough to not go to prison for life.
True. Damn. And he probably was just like dumb. They were like, this guy didn't.
Well, yeah. He was kind of insane. He was trying to kill the president for a woman.
Yeah.
They're going to let him out.
But also, what devotion that is.
I was gonna say if he wanted to, he would, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Shout
what that
out.
shows you. That's a perfect example for women in America.
Do you think he
I'm
got
just
out?
saying.
Try to
and
kill the
she-
president. Unless it's a Democrat. Don't kill him if he's a Democrat. But like Trump is evil, so kill him. If he,
Oh, that's literally Luigi. Luigi's like could have sex with any woman he wants.
I wonder if that guy was a Republican or a
Right?
Democrat that he killed.
Same effect? Oh, Republican, dude. That guy was rich.
You think so?
Yeah, he had.
CEO of a fucking.
Yeah, he was still rich.
A lot of them are rich, man. It doesn't matter who you are, politically wise. I feel like the top like 5% is pretty well.
I also think once you get up there though, it doesn't.
not all them. It's not
Pharmaceutical
all.
stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's going which
Really,
way.
the
Or
people that
who's
were
in
trying to-
charge.
who
They have
was, like-
so much fucking money in there, you know.
Yeah, but they all have different beliefs in that.
Yeah, but
way.
they're gonna get their way no matter what. It doesn't matter who's really in charge.
You're just against the bourgeoisie.
Yeah,
The hidden
I
upper
think
class.
everybody should, dude.
So you're a socialist. Unite.
I
You
think
could go down
people
to
should get
the.
their
You could go down
stuff.
to. What's that called? First of the month.
First Friday?
You
First
go down to
Friday.
First Friday and protest with the communists and look like a faggot if
Do
you
they
want.
protest?
Yeah,
down
they're
there?
like, what did they do last time we were there? It was so fucking stupid.
Did we ever talk about the protest that we witnessed here at a mic drop on the podcast?
I don't know.
Did we tell you about the duck people?
I'm trying to shit on socialists
I
right
don't
now.
think so.
Yeah, as a socialist, let's talk about. We can both shit on. I can't also
be a
shit on
socialist.
socialists, but I can shit on
You're not
people
a
that don't like
socialist.
ducks.
You're not a retarded
Foie
person.
gras. You know that? You know that? You know that? What
Foie
that
gras?
is? Foie gras.
It's when they feed ducks butter like forcibly for months and then their livers
Oh,
get
you
big.
did tell me that. Yeah.
Oh, we did. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, she's not the podcast.
She is not the podcast. They were just protesting it outside a freaking place, and it's a weird thing to take a stance on, you know? Like, it's a steakhouse. Like, they also do steaks and whatnot. It's weird to...
It's like to get pissed off at one of their side dishes.
Yeah. It's like, why are you...
Fuck the mashed potatoes, fuck the mashed potatoes, fuck the mashed potatoes.
Exactly. Like, what are you proving here?
That you know.
Nothing.
That's bad.
That you're an activist.
I know George Floyd was kneeled on his neck. Like, it's like,
God.
what are you proving here?
What else was, like, crazy about that was that there were, like, 5 or 6 cops just around. And they were
Yeah, they
just
just hung
talking
out.
in a circle.
Yeah, they're like, in case this gets violent. It's like, you want to discharge your service weapons so bad, don't you?
Yeah, dude. And there was one woman cop in the middle of it with it. Dude, women cops
And they're all
always be
protecting
hitting
her, and they're all like,
this.
yeah.
They hit the arm
Your
triangle.
uniform fits really nicely.
So you heard about that case back in the day with that
Remember when
one
you
chick?
bashed that black man's skull in? You look so good.
Baby, I loved it when you had, your lips look like the blood that he spilled.
Jesus Christ. Wow, blue
On your
eyeliner.
boots.
The same color of the face of the guy that you choked to death.
With the hair. He had a big old megaphone, too.
Yeah, they took the
Yeah,
megaphone
there's-
away almost immediately.
Mhm.
Remember that? They were like, no.
There's also
No
just
megaphone.
one 50-year-old guy and then a bunch of, like, young women.
That was right by an open mic. We should have just talked that guy into like going to the open
You
mic.
should be like, you should tell the people at the open mic about this. They'll hate this. They'll get behind you.
But we can all riff off it for the next.
Through, oh yeah, like people will actually be able to riff on that.
Some people will, some won't. There's survivors and there's sinkers and there's swimmers and
Either.
there's
Sink or swim, baby, sink or swim. That's comedy, folks.
sink or swim.
Sink
You
or
little
swim.
dumb bitch.
Laugh or silence.
Live, laugh, love. It's in my mom's house.
It's in my mom's house as well.
It's not in my mom's house. My mom's not a fucking retard.
Disrespectful, dude. She is a wonderful woman.
Any women who have
My mother
your
is
mom's,
wonderful.
let's be honest, your mom's
I
a
was
liberal.
talking to her, dude. I was talking to her yesterday because I was just fucking in a shitty mood, and I called her because I was like calling everybody on my walk. And she's like, "Oh, I'm doing something right now, but Fred, I really just want to know, like, how are things going?" And I was like, "Oh, they're good." And she's like, "Would you even tell me if they weren't going good?"
It's like, Mom, good is just a perspective, all right?
And I was like, I was just in such a shitty mood, and I was like, "No." And she's like, "What?" And I was like, No, I'm kidding. I would tell you if they were bad."
I'm a
She was
comedian,
like,
remember, Mama?
Remember, Mom, I'm doing a joke. Oh, what also just set me the fuck off, too? Like, it didn't set me off. I actually kind of, sometimes it's fun, but
I
like,
hate
I
getting
wasn't in
set
the
off by
mood.
my parents. Like, you don't talk to them for a while, and you're like, I love them. And then they say some shit, and you're like, you fucking retard.
Well, it's just like every other time we talk, she tries to give me bits for like 15 minutes.
That's nice.
And
You haven't hit her with, like, I don't need this.
I owe every time. Well, I've stopped now. Now I just go like, yeah, that's a good one. Maybe you should do that one, Mom. Maybe you should do that one. But she like really looks forward to it. So now like I can't even stop it anymore at this point. So just like let it happen.
When were you on your walk?
Yeah, when was this? That's what I was trying to figure out, too.
Oh, it was at Bridget's.
Wait, before or
I
after we
walked
went up?
Before.
No, it was before he gaslit us that he wasn't in a bad mood.
I don't think I was in a bad mood.
You just said you were
I was
in the
just- I was
worst.
in a
Did he not
shitty-
just say that?
I was being shitty.
You're not wrong.
But then
But
when
was,
I
like,
called it
nice.
out, you were
I don't
like,
think I
I'm
was mean
fine.
to anyone.
I've
I wasn't,
always
like,
been fine.
mean.
That's true. He just said he was in a shitty mood. Rewind
Yeah,
the
you
tapes.
just
Who
got
said he was in
Maybe
a
I was
caught.
like
shitty
a
mood?
little shitty, but I wasn't like.
And then he came over and ate burgers last night. Hannah, if you're watching this, sorry I lied to you today. But what? She's not going to watch it. Neither is Andrew. No one's watching this far.
They
It's like a
might.
few guys that are into
They
our feet,
won't.
and that's it. And my mom and dad. And like a few people from Windsor.
I was not that
And Stone.
shitty.
And Stone. Shout out Stone. If you
I
watch this far, thank you.
I
He was in
extended
the-
for the story and to make it better.
Wait. This is just for Stone
So
real
you
quick.
lied.
Let me shout out 10% of our
Sorry.
audience here. I know I talked to you this morning, Stone, about how what was going to be on the podcast, but me and Fred were like, those podcasts were so bad, we're just going to shoot a new podcast. So I
Oh,
talked to you
the
this
audio
morning,
file
just for
was
reference.
Corrupt. That's
Just for
what
reference.
happened. It's corrupt audio. Can't believe you'd say that.
I don't give a fuck.
Every
They're not
episode
going to watch
we
this
do-
far
It's
either.
like the 4th episode we've done.
Dude, we've reshot this
this
one
week.
a bunch of times.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
41 has taken a
41
lot
has
of fucking...
taken 4 tries.
Yeah.
Thank
41's
God.
a bad number. That's why.
Yeah,
It's unlucky.
Awful number, dude. This is where they said they should have said we couldn't make it to 41, dude.
No, but they're
This is
wrong
when
because
the
we're doing it right
struggle
now.
said- Yeah, we are still trying. We're
I
trying.
don't give a fuck. I spit in the face
Anyways,
of naysayers.
I get that I said I was shitty, but
No, you
I think it was a
didn't.
different type of shitty. I recognize that I wasn't in like a great, like I wasn't like I usually am. But I don't think I was like awful.
No, you're pretty
like,
bad.
I was
But
talking.
it's
You were
not,
like, no,
you
no, no,
could
you
have
weren't.
been in a bad mood. That's allowed. But it's the fact that you gaslit us into being like, I'm fine. I'm fine. You guys are the ones in a bad
You brought
mood.
down like the energy of the whole night, to be honest.
Exactly. You were just sulking out by the pool
kinda what I
eating your
wanted to do,
burger.
to be
Yeah,
honest
you
with
wouldn't
you-
talk at all.
And then to like,
Well, you wouldn't talk either. You weren't like talking. I tried.
I really, if I'm
was
not engaged
grilling.
enough, I really don't talk that much. I do half decent, but it's like your energy's thrown off, so then I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't mind not talking. I wasn't like thinking anything bad when we weren't talking.
no, I just know if you're not talking, you're in a bad mood. Simple as that.
Really?
And then I'm just
Okay.
like, fuck, Fred's in a bad mood. So like now I kind of feel bad, especially the few times I've tried to talk to him, and then he's just like, "Meh," and I'm like, all right, I tried a few times. So it's like,
I knew it like the first 30 seconds you guys walked in my door. I said, what's wrong? Why are the vibes weird? And then you were like, the vibes aren't weird. And then we walked down, and the
that point,
vibes
I
were
was just
still
I
weird.
noticed it on stage a hella.
Yeah,
or
you
not a hella,
probably
but a
saw
shit
it
ton.
earlier.
I did actually
yeah.
a hella. I noticed it a hella.
Yeah, I
A
was
whole
pretty-
hella. A whole hell of a lot is what I noticed. That Fred had not a whole hell of a lot of energy is what I noticed.
I didn't have any energy, but I was like, I don't know, dude. I was just like, ugh.
We know.
I tried to be fucking pleasant.
There was a really pro-Jewish guy at Barstool.
Yeah, I heard. We didn't stick
Yeah,
around, dude.
I didn't.
wanted to
He
get
said
the
a few
fuck
things
out
to me,
of
and I
there.
was like, "What?" And then he wouldn't say anything anymore, and I was like, I hit the
Yeah,
classic, like, "Oh, it's great to like shout out something and then be a pussy about it later," but whatever.
I don't get why people do that shit, dude. Like,
What?
why say something and then I go like, what? And then they say nothing?
I honestly can't hear well, so like the most of the time, if someone just shouts something out, I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, but I hear good. And they do it anyways. It's not just you.
People don't be shouting out during my set that often though.
Oh,
They go,
they're so
"Whoa,
look in.
whoa, is this guy the man?
Holy shit.
Look
wait
at
a
his
second.
confidence up there."
Look at that guy. I don't know.
I just have to give a shit.
It was fun, dude. This is so shitty, but it is fun because like after a while, I was kind of over it. Like I was like feeling a little bit better, but I'd already been like shitty for a while, and I was like, well, now I can just. So when I was having burgers, I actually wasn't that upset. It was just kind of at that point I was like,
You made me walk to Milk and Honey by myself.
yeah, I did.
I know that's wild.
That was crazy.
Because I said I wasn't gonna go, and then he was like, "Fucking," I was like, "Ha ha ha," and then you said you were gonna go, and then part of me did want to be like, I'll go with you," but then I was like, "No, I don't have to. I'm grumpy," you know.
But
That's wild.
he's in a fine mood though. He's totally fine over there.
Everyone knows he couldn't grill the burgers though.
That's not even.
I
true.
couldn't.
Hey, can we be honest now that we're here? Were they undercooked?
No,
I really
mine
didn't
was
mind 'em.
not on
Mine
my
was.
life.
Well, I just took a while to prepare mine, and then by the time I was eating through it, it was cold, and I was pissed off.
Mine was not undercooked. It was like perfectly medium, which
Was
is
it
how I
warm?
like it.
My
Yeah.
burger has to be warm. Mine was not warm all the way through.
You
I
Yeah,
like-
mine
pissed.
was warm.
No, yeah, you pulled it off the grill as I sat down. It was like perfect.
That's
No, I
not
didn't.
true.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, really?
No,
We're
They
all
were off the
gaslighting.
I
grill.
like saw
They were
you
off the
put
grill.
them down on my life.
Yeah, you saw him
No.
put us down on the grill. Yeah, but you didn't see him take it off.
Yeah.
You
I
didn't.
swear
know you
I did.
No,
Huh.
they were off for a while. We were just sitting there in silence. And I honestly didn't mind the silence. I wasn't like mad or upset.
I wasn't mad about it
I
either.
enjoyed just being
I
outside in the
existed
silence.
all of my life in the silence. All right, I'm not mad about the silence, but like I know because I'm around you that the silence is not something you would particularly choose. So therefore, you're in a different mood than you always are, and you sure as fuck weren't happy.
Towards
I got
the
good
end,
emotional
definitely
intelligence,
was. Towards the end, I was not upset at all. Like
Yeah, because you
after
saw
I
how
ate,
upset it
really-
made me.
I know it made you upset, and then I could tell he was upset, and I was like, I did that. And then
I wasn't
no
upset.
longer-
I was just mirroring.
I was mad about the
Doesn't matter.
silence.
To me, it all looked the same. I was like, ooh, look at the look what I did.
I almost got you
And then
something
I
from
tried-
Milk and Honey too, and I was like, no.
I know, and I almost said, I was almost like, wow, you didn't get me anything. And then
I
was like,
almost,
no,
I
there's
literally
not- don't
was
need to
in
do
the
that.
aisle
I
and I
don't
was
need
gonna
to
get
do
him a
that.
Diet Coke, and I was like, nope.
I figured you would on the way back because you had 2 bottles, right? You had something for you too.
Yeah, I almost got him a beverage, but I was like, he didn't walk with me.
Nice.
No,
I also said I didn't want anything.
I still
You
would
guys
have
are
got
all
you
playing
something.
4D chess, and I'm like, they have to cook 3 minutes and 30 seconds on one side.
I didn't even feel like I was playing any sort of chess, dude.
I was.
I was doing a bit. What was I gonna say?
No, you're playing chess at the end of it because you're like, look at what I've done. That's chess. That's
True.
classic chess.
Really, I think changed it was that I was very hungry too, and then after I ate, I was like, oh, I'm fine.
Wait a second, the world isn't terrible.
It was more just like because I'd eaten breakfast. It's just like, "Ugh," and then I ate something good, and then I saw everybody else was like,
Dude, it's
and I was
crazy
like,
to let your mood be dependent on how hungry you are. I fucking hated when guys would cut weight in wrestling and be a fucking asshole. Because
I
it's
don't
like,
think
we're
that was
all in this
100%
together.
of it.
I'm just saying, from letting your appetite, your fucking pain in your stomach, control how you act, I hate that shit. Like, it's obviously going to be, like, bad, but, like, there were so many guys I knew growing up, wrestling just in general, like, from, like, small to, like, 2 years ago, that, like, I hated it when they were cutting weight and they were an asshole to you. Because it's like, we are all cutting weight. We're all in this together. Why are you being a bitch compared to the rest of us?
Yeah, you're not the only one suffering.
Yeah, it's like we're all
get
suffering
that.
together.
I get that. That makes
A
sense.
big thing we'd say on trips was we'd be like, "Can you imagine like how like other sports are on their trips?"
It's like when I complain about how hot it is in the car right when we get in the car. Everybody knows it's hot, you know?
Yeah, it's like you're just making it.
Yeah.
But imagine that for like 12 hours straight.
And-
And then
but
like
also
you're
mean.
eventually in hour like 10, you're like, it's hot in here. It's like we've all been experiencing the heat, brother.
Yeah.
We just didn't acknowledge it because like to acknowledge it makes it not worse, but it's like just shut the fuck up.
Really, because when I acknowledge it, it makes it so much better for me.
Hey, maybe your brain's wired differently, but like my brain's not wired to be like, this is bad. Let's fucking immediately make everyone know. It's like
No,
everyone around me already knows it's bad.
I like complaining about things. It's fun, and it makes it feel like less.
You need to be
know?
like an
when you're
investigator.
making fun of it. Huh? An investigator?
Yeah, like investigate things. Like not even like homicide, like fucking buildings and shit for like signs of wear.
No, if I were to get into a different thing, it would be city planning for sure. I've been
No,
watching
you don't
map
have the degree
things.
for that. You should be.
Well,
an,
no, I know, but
you
I'm
should be a home inspector.
That's what I'm saying.
But you should be.
I'm not going to do it. A
You ever
home
thought about
inspector?
home inspection?
No, I
Because
don't
all
wanna
you're
do a
doing is
home
going through the house and
inspection.
being like, I fucking hate this. This would not pass my standards.
Yeah, but you don't get to like build bridges and stuff.
Yeah, you don't as a city planner either, buddy. You're gonna outsource all the fucking architecture
Well,
of the
I'd get
Golden
really
Gate Bridge to someone else.
Okay, I want to do the thing where like, well, no, you still get to plan everything, and then you hire, and then I'd assume I'd get to be part
You just
of
want
the
to gentrify
project.
fucking areas of the
No,
world.
no, no. I'm tired of
Yeah.
the cookie cutter. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I would
you
make
do.
it cool and historical. I would
can't.
honor the
It's
culture.
new.
I would honor the culture, dude. Every building I build
This
will have a
fucking guy.
land
What a
acknowledgement.
pussy.
A land
Would it?
acknowledgement.
That
plaque
makes it so much
outside.
more gay. And if you were just to like put up a building,
No,
put up
it's
a gay
not
little
gay.
building.
It's not even. It's not even gay, dude. And then I'd have a flag outside. I'll have all the flags outside. This is my big building.
Oh, you're building
All
a
the
cool
flags.
building. So you're just
Yeah.
building the United Nations headquarters.
Yeah, I'm getting
Wow.
commissioned. This is my dream.
That place is
and
so
there's gonna
cool.
be so many different sky bridges, like from
Really like
different.
the Sky Bridge.
I fuck with sky bridges hard, dude.
Really?
Dude, when you're walking, when it's like building, Minneapolis is insane because Minneapolis, the entire downtown, is connected by sky bridges. Like so, in the wintertime,
And
you
that's
can-
like a really peaceful, nice place to go, right?
Minneapolis.
Huh.
I mean, now after all this stuff, it's been a couple years.
They kicked
Mike.
out all the blacks.
Well,
yeah.
no, they didn't kick them out.
Well, they
just-
killed quite
They
a few.
learned
of
what
them.
happens when you misbehave.
After the blacks got their lessons learned.
Gone.
No one's watching
Yeah,
this far.
maybe it'll stay in there. I
It's
don't
not even
think
that
though,
crazy of
but
a thing to
thi-
say either.
Really not.
You're fucking around.
I'm definitely fucking around. They know
We're-
that.
You're aware.
But
Don't be a bitch.
all right, but what I'm saying is like that. The sky bridges, I think, are the coolest architectural.
live inside all the time, even when you're walking to the from.
Never leave your home.
conditioning was there.
Well, what you do is you park and you park into the parking garage, and then you go up.
And then you just don't get out of a building your whole day.
Yeah, and then you go into your
Wow.
garage and you go.
I
to the
feel
house,
like a human right
never
now.
outside. You're hating on it. What? Okay, what's your favorite part of architecture then? Because I fuck with a sky bridge. when I
Like
want
really
one of that.
crude buildings, honest to God. Log cabins, obviously. I think that's pinnacle of architecture. Brick homes that are like almost entirely like just masonry. That's fucking cool to me. Stick and mud homes like Adobe. That's fucking cool too.
Dude, you need to get yourself to Africa.
I bet I'd
I'm
like
just
it.
kidding.
Nah, they don't have bricks. They don't have
Yeah,
bricks.
but they
over there.
got mud, dude.
Yeah,
got mud and
that's
straw.
1/3 of my shit that I liked.
1/3 is pretty good. How much of the shit that you like is in any buildings now? You know,
What do you mean?
I'm saying like you'd probably find a much more of them, and then probably in cool ways, and you get 20% of that, 20% of your thing. In the States, you don't really get any of that. You know.
I can't do it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I like Africa. Cool. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, dude. That's
Wow.
what I
Oh
want.
no, I like the blacks. Shit.
It-
Oh, you got me.
It is cool.
Well,
though,
turn
dude.
this off now.
City, like somebody had the idea, like a city planner had the idea of putting in the sky bridges.
Yeah, and he's
Like,
such a
that was-
smart fucking guy.
He is a smart fucking
Thank
guy. That is a
you.
smart thing to think of, right?
Thank you,
You know,
city
Max
of Minneapolis.
And I, Max and I the other day,
Minneapolis.
we watched a fucking video about flies and how they fucking used to get inside scars and whatnot or scratches of like cattle and livestock.
How they
and
used
they
to?
would kill them. No, they still do. It's a man-eating or a flesh-eating fly, you know, and it was becoming really bad. So then scientists were like,
A
"We
lot
need
of
to
hornets
fix
that eat
this."
meat too.
A lot of hornets eat meat too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, their solution for the flies, because they were like a bigger problem,
was bringing
Yeah,
in
they
some
solve it.
species from over the fucking pond.
No. It's been a big solve for a lot of times. But they just put out a bunch of males that were infertile so that the girls would mate.
Oh, they
with
went
the
straight up
flies.
GMO with it.
Yeah. And then they fucking released them into the wild, and then they stopped having.
And then I
honey
walk around
babies.
downtown, I'm like, sure smells like dog shit down here.
Wait, they weren't eating mostly dogs.
Maybe they were
If
eating
those flies
shit.
ate dogs.
Maybe they were eating dog shit too, and we didn't know about it.
Maybe, but those are dung beetles, dude. Everybody knows about dung beetles.
That's in Africa.
No, we have them here too. Have you never seen ants or Bugs Life? It's Bugs Life. There's dung beetles
You're
in
a
that.
fucking retard.
You've never watched Bugs
You're basing
Life?
your fucking like herpetology
Why would
knowledge
they
off of
lie?
A Bug's Life.
Why would they lie?
I don't know, Fred.
They have
Because they're the
no
same people
reason
that
to
lied
lie.
about the Holocaust.
Disney lied about the Holocaust? What?
Nowadays, Disney.
Oh, okay. Because
Well, it started off as a pure company, and then they got Walt out of there.
He died.
You know, one of the front murals in Disney is done by a Nazi. Yeah, still to this day.
What is it? A Mickey Mouse drawn by a Nazi?
No, it's like a guy came. He was a Nazi in World War II, and he did like one of the murals at Disneyland right before you walk in.
But they did the thing where they took out all the fucking. They did all the commercials. They did the propaganda for anti-Nazi stuff.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean like there's still roots
Yeah, but,
tied
okay,
to
but then
it.
they didn't consciously hire a Nazi. You
Yeah,
just happened
in
to
the
be an artist
fucking-
that was a Nazi.
No, well,
They
I
didn't
mean,
do it on purpose.
it was hired like by Walt back in the day.
Yeah,
Walt wasn't like, I know that this guy is a Nazi. I'm
he
gonna hire
probably
him to do
was. Okay.
That dude
I'm an
explicitly.
expert
Did you not know that?
on the Walt lore. He
Okay.
for sure was like, oh, a Nazi? I would love to support
Yeah.
this man.
But
No
then-
doubt.
But then why create all that propaganda to then?
Because it changed hands between him and their.
That man wanted money. Whatever could get him money was what he was going to believe in that day. I'm sure he had his true beliefs, which were the Nazis. And then he was like, oh, people don't like that.
What do you believe in? The Nazis.
National
Period.
Socialism
Not
of
me,
Germany.
But Walt.
But Walt did. I do know that Walt was a big anti-Semite. But who wasn't back then? You know, a lot of people. It's coming from a lot of different places.
You know, it's,
But we made it through, and we persevered.
you know what's crazy? For
and now we're
like
on
most
top
of time,
everything, and that's what's important.
you know,
That's
you just
resilience.
admitted.
Yeah.
For most of time, everyone was anti-Semitic, and then like now's the turning point.
Yeah, now is the turning point. Because we're pushing it away. We're saying people are waking up. They're waking up to the Jewish plight.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying, "Oh my God, they've had it so rough." It's everybody
No,
knows.
I think the pinnacle for that was like the 50s.
Well, yeah. Well, we got recognized as like a different race in the 50s.
You got a whole country to yourself.
and
That's when like
which is in
all
dispute.
time like,
That
oh
we
no.
get- there were some of us even back then that were like, you probably shouldn't let us do this. Like, you can't do this. You know.
Who were they?
There's a bunch of like Jews in the UK that are like super anti-Zionist, but
Like,
they're
oh,
also
bruv, we're Jewish.
no.
What do you
they're
got-
very Hasidic. Like, they're like full
Still
braids,
speaking-
hats.
It's
yeah.
crazy how those guys are all over. Let's get them all into one place.
I'm just saying, like they
And then
it
glass
wasn't always like
and
that,
then
you know?
glass that fucking place till it's nothing left.
You're gonna try and get rid of the ones that are pro-Palestine
I'm just trying to get rid of all of them.
across the board.
Delete that for sure.
Yeah, it's gone. But we're coming back, dude. We're not even coming back. We are back, baby.
Yeah, you're making bigger. You're
Baby's
gaining
got
land.
back. Yeah.
Baby got back.
You know, the most powerful church is the Mormons.
Yeah,
They own the most land.
yeah, but who do they got sway with? Who do they got pull with?
Doesn't matter, dude. They got money.
Not yet. It doesn't create 100%
Money don't
pull
make
like
power.
that. They don't have like
money make
established. Dude, the Catholic Church, the Jews. Look at them. They both have power and money right now, and they're pulling probably most of the strings in the whole fucking world, right? Maybe one day the Mormons will be like that, but they don't have half the fucking pull that Israel does.
I think
They
if
really
you like
don't.
congest it down, there's way less Mormons, and I think the power that Mormon.
I don't know.
but we're still pretty powerful. What about
I bet
like,
there's more- I bet there's
Scientologists?
more
If you put
Mormons than Jews
Scientologists
now.
on this more Mormons than Jews?
I
Yeah,
bet.
100%.
So, and they have way less power than you guys.
That's true. I talked myself out of it.
They just have like good ownings in some companies, and that's about it.
I think they're doing it right in terms of like how you prop up a religion nowadays. You know.
Yeah, because it's what we agree with now, and it was invented like 100 years ago.
I'm really saying like the system that they've created where you like you're in the church the entire time, you're very devout, and then you go to college, and then you go on your mission. It makes you like stronger in the religion, and then you go back to the college and you get your 4-year degree. So the religion is basically educating you to get a 4-year degree, and then you leave.
I was going to say
very devout
Mormons
to the religion.
aren't really in the U.S. government, but I guess like a huge majority of like the CIA and FBI are Mormons.
No,
So
we can't do it again, dude.
have we done this already?
No, but we can't steal from. That's what they were talking about it on. What's the podcast that you
were
listen
they?
to?
Fuck yeah. See,
Yeah, see, you're doing it again.
well, I just heard it from there. Like, where else am I?
PKT or whatever?
PKA.
PKA?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, we got called out. I guess one of our bits, sorry, was
the only one that's done good.
the only one that's
But
done
we
good.
riffed off it better.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. And they didn't put it out.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I don't either. I don't even
It's like
care.
watching the news and being like, "Did you see this thing on the news?" And they're like, "You stole that from the news." And it's like, well, where the fuck else was I supposed to get shit?
You're supposed to fucking think of it. You're supposed to fucking sit and expand your mind.
We thought of the first part of
dark
that,
room.
or the second part of that.
Yeah, all by yourself. I'm not really that mad.
I'm
I
really
just
not
saw
either.
us going into the thing. But they do heavily recruit. The CIA and FBI recruit from
The Mormons.
the Mormon church. Or BYU specifically, is what they were saying.
I don't know. I think it's just
BYU,
Mormons
'cause-
in general.
But they are good, you know? Like they...
Mormons?
Yeah, people hate on Mormons. I mean, I'm not a lover of Mormons, but I'm not like, ugh, you know?
I think it's very devout. I think it's the Muslims of the Islam of fucking Christianity, but I don't even think Mormons are Christian. But as far as like religions go, that's like the fucking like one that took everything to the extreme.
They're always like nice.
Yeah, but like
I've never
They're
met a
home
mean
vi-
Mormon.
I've never met a mean Muslim either. But they fucking have like these extremist views that it's like, oh shit, all right. Like cover
What is,
the
like, an
ladies up.
Extremist. What is an extremist Mormon view?
I mean, for the
that they,
West,
like,
no
act
drinking.
on? That's not extremist.
Yeah, it is for the West. It's fucking, that's part of our culture at this point.
Yeah, agreed. But it's not like I don't think it's a crazy thing. Also, that's same with Islam. You can't drink in Islam.
Extremist view. Yes, they both share them.
I guess that is. Okay, I don't think that one counts. That's not enough for me.
Well, you can't eat and what you can't drink, right?
Coffee. That's Jews as well.
Jews aren't drinking coffee?
Kosher. Nah, but what you can't eat. You know, if you're really devout, you can't have meat and dairy within 30 minutes of each other. Or they can't be cooked in the same thing and they can't touch.
That's so gay.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Cheese and beef is so good together.
What's crazy is you get to pick the level of like I don't keep kosher at all. Then you have the other side where it's like I won't even cook a steak or I won't cook a burger in the same thing that I cooked like mac and cheese in because I can't have dairy and meat touching. And then there's like in the middle you have like my aunt and uncle who are like we're gonna keep mostly kosher
but not
also,
eat like cheeseburgers?
yeah, we're not gonna eat cheeseburger, but we're also not gonna clean the pan in between.
I want to go to
stuff.
Thanksgiving.
I think you'd have.
A ball.
It'd be crazy. I don't think I want you to go to Thanksgiving. I don't want you to go to Thanksgiving.
You don't think I could censor myself enough, but
think
then
you
get away
could.
with stuff every once in a while?
But I wouldn't want to give you all that ammunition. You know? Like, there would be so much you could come back to being like, you know?
I get what you're saying.
I don't know. Maybe I'd probably get over it. If you really wanted to come, I could probably work it out, and it wouldn't be that bad.
I want to come.
Oh, I want to. Where's my
I want to
gun?
fucking come.
Where's my
Get
gun?
my full choke shotgun.
Where's my gun? And that's the end of the podcast, folks. Fucking guns. Maybe that's what this one's called.
Fucking guns.
Well, it would be something gun
Sexy
related.
guns.
Sexy guns.
Sexy guns. Flex, Freddy. Wait, and laugh at the same time. Wait, laugh at me in my face. No. Like I got you.
See, I look more nervous. I know that. I know that fucking. Bye.